already see where it's going. So, hey, if y'all
Yeah.
ready, we'll go ahead and go into the next video.
Yeah, and for those that's
Oh man.
that's commenting, man, we're getting to a point where we're getting a lot of comments. So in the future, it's not anybody silencing you, because that's not what we do on this podcast. It's just that it's so many up there we can't fit all of them at the same time. That's just how it is. So I'm not silencing nobody. We want to hear everybody, and I obviously only put on so many at a time because we ain't blocking the people that's on the podcast all day. So just letting y'all know that, all right? Oh, and for this video, it's gonna have a little music in the back. Fair use, fair use, fair use, fair use. So don't go put no copyright on our videos. Fair use, fair use. Let's go.
Several days removed from a brutal dockside brawl in Montgomery, Alabama, where this now viral video shows a group of white men attacking a single black boat captain, assault charges have been filed against 3 of the alleged aggressors.
Only 3? When it initially took place, the police department didn't have the luxury of the videos that we all have seen now. Now that we have more information, again, more charges are pending.
The videos certainly paint a vivid picture. After the initial altercation, members of the crew and community jumping in to defend the riverboat's co-captain, Damian Pickett. As you can see from this new footage, the fight quickly escalates. At one point, a man even swinging a folding chair. In police custody this morning, Richard Roberts, 2 other men, Alan Todd and Zachary Shipman, are expected to turn themselves in, all of them facing misdemeanor assault charges. None of the men have pleaded in the case yet, and NBC News has not been able to reach them for comment.
It definitely should never have even gotten physical to begin with.
For witnesses who watched from a riverboat that was attempting to dock, like Leslie Mae Horter, the 45 minutes police say the captain spent asking the pontoon owners to move their boat over a PA system was clearly in vain.
Could you hear what these guys were shouting back?
No, I could not hear from in my perspective, what they were shouting back. The attitude that they exude was the fact that you're not going to tell us what to do. We were here first.
But there's no doubt they were notified. They knew they were being asked.
Oh, they had ample opportunity to move their boat.
When asked about possible use of racial epithets or names, the police chief said the evidence they have does not currently meet the FBI standard for a hate crime.
All right, so
there was a lot of, I've seen finger gestures and comments and innuendos made. Working with the local FBI, we did examine if there was enough to...
That boy with the chair legend more than any WWE anything. Like he gave so many people, like content creators. He gave so many content creators, ammo. Like I've seen so many chair memes and shit. It's ridiculous,
Man, memes are crazy. So the question is, what are your thoughts on the battle? I call it the race battle, the beatdown in Montgomery, Alabama. What are y'all thoughts on that situation that happened maybe a couple of days ago?
August 5th, Cinco de Negro.
Yeah. Leo season, man. It's hot out.
Leo season, bro. That was my sister's birthday. Lit. Happy birthday, sis. God damn. There's a lot of us, ain't it?
Yeah, we out here.
Hey, happy birthday to all the Leos. Yeah. Happy birthday to all the Leos.
Can't say it enough, man. I don't know, man. It was a lot of it was comedy because like I said, so many content creators, took the chair and ran with it. Like it's people bench pressing chairs, people reenacting Malcolm X standing by the window with a chair. Oh man, they put the WWE sound bites behind the chair, man. It's been hilarious. But as far as the incident, man, it was senseless like that. And once again, a guy got attacked for doing his job, basically based on what I understand about it. Like, you give these people 45 minutes. You know how short, how much little patience we have, especially when it comes to like race and whatnot as a whole in America. You know, we feel like a white person like trying to disenfranchise us in any way. We not gonna give them 45 minutes of a warning to like to move or do whatever to, you know, just to keep the peace. But they did, man. Like a whole boat waited for you for 45 minutes to move out the way so they can do their job. And I guess it was a ferry or something, but for you not to move and then attack the man just for him trying to enforce the rules of his job, like, I think that was crazy. At first I was like, man, why are we celebrating this? It's just some bunch of ignorant shit, you know. And you think, but when you think about the region of the United States where it occurred, it kind of like, it doesn't surprise you for real.
It's not even a region, man. If you just looked at it, bro, it was obvious. So let me ask y'all, because we kind of have discussions off screen. Did y'all see Black Unity?
I mean, yeah,
I saw them looking after somebody, but to be honest, I didn't know they waited 45 minutes to book the docket. Yo, it might have been a chance they would have got their ass whooped just because they didn't move, even if they didn't beat homeboy up. Because I'm like, yo, you gonna have me sitting on a boat for 45 minutes because you don't want to move your boat? Like, yo, they might have caught it regardless. But especially once they start beating up on the old man and jumping them. I think that's what it was. If it was a one-on-one, maybe. But when y'all start jumping on that man and y'all made us wait 45 minutes, hey, the boat went crazy on them, y'all. The boat went crazy. So I do think that was a form of unity, supporting a brother. But to be honest, that stuff don't surprise me because I've been hearing about stuff like that at high schools. You know what I'm saying? Where you got
FMF mob, what's good, y'all? Hey, they've been subscribing to us. Yo, we got a video with almost 10,000 views, man. Yo, but we ain't got that much subscribers. Y'all gotta make sure y'all subscribe to us, hit the comments, likes, all that stuff, man.
Where black people outnumbered and everything, and some white dude might beat up on a black dude, and all his people is coming back and it's black on versus white. I've been hearing about this since high school. So to me, it didn't. I was happy that I was happy they was looking out for my mans and everything. But I was like, yo, this really been going on for a while now, from what I've been hearing. And this go back to high school where, sometimes it's group versus group. And you got to look after your own people sometimes. So to answer the question, I do think that was some form of unity. I do think that was some like a form of looking after our people. But the thing is, how are we going to use this? Because it's on a national scale now. How are we going to use this to advance and start doing this in other areas that's nonviolent? Black supporting black businesses, looking out for one another, things like that. I want to see where it's going to continue to grow from there.
Yeah, like Trey said I think the reason why violence, like, it's where we tend to like come together. Like Trey said, it's that anger, bro. Like, that's our natural first emotion, bro. I think it was the episode we did last summer in the park when all y'all kicked. But I remember we were debating that, and it's like that anger, like people was in wish a nigga would mode. Like, that was a nigga moment. It was the white people involved, but that was a nigga moment by definition. It could have been easily absolved. All they had to do was move out the way because these particular group of people feel like y'all can't tell us what to do. We were here first. Like, that's a lie too, because y'all weren't here first in any aspect of life. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, I say it was black unity. It's sad that violence is where we have to come together, but if they want to fuck around and find out, find out, man.
Your perception?
Shout out to, I think it's a mix of both. It's unity. I saw unity, but I always think it's I'm just upset. I'm not upset. I'm just, not really shocked. There's usually always some kind of violence unity that black people come together with. Like Paul said, come in unity with something positive, like businesses or doing better in the community, teaching our women better, teaching our kids better. There's no unity in that. But when it comes to unity of beating a white man, it's like a lot of unity. It's that's just how it's usually how it is. That's the only unity I ever see when black people come together. There's no unity when black niggas killing black niggas. There ain't no unity there. Just let it go. Nobody help out then, but it's just. But it was some sort of unity. I'm glad to see some kind of unity, even if it is violence. I mean, hey, Dave, that's true. That's the only piece of unity I can get with these Negroes is something. Like, gosh. So, yeah, that's my view on it.
Right, my turn. Of course, it was Black Unity. Now, it was absolutely Black Unity because of the because of the emphasis of everybody. It is not. It was more so unity, because it wasn't just a means of violence. It was us as a reaction. We weren't trying to cause any type of violence or any type of harm. This goes back. I've been listening to our podcast. I listen to our podcast a lot, and it goes back to the episode of Unconditional Love where we were speaking about the difference between Martin and Malcolm. And the emphasis was Malcolm just was like, let's fight. This is the emphasis where he was talking about when he was talking about fighting. Like, we're not going to turn the other cheek no more. Like, we're not going to like let you beat up on us and then like try to talk to you about it. No, you must know that there are repercussions to face. And I think it was a clear I loved it because so many people were willing to jump in to dismantle and correct the situation. I mean, you look at us, this is what it goes back to the promotion. Okay, so we don't see unity in other areas, but I just sent it was a post where 19 black families buys 97 acres of land in Georgia to build their own city. But where's the widespread distribution of that? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's Black unity. I love it.
True.
You know what I mean? But where it was on CNN, but where is the widespread coverage? Where is the memes? Where is everybody being able to get this information? Nobody knows about it besides those people. And maybe if you come across this post that got a few hundred likes versus, this viral incident, you know what I mean? So of course it was Black unity, and Black unity is happening all across the board. It's just what's being promoted. So we don't see a lot of it. And I was having a discussion with another brother earlier, because if anything, if I'm going to talk about community, I'm in the community that I'm talking about. So I'm definitely going to like plug in. When we black, those who start a business and their marketing is Black-owned business for people to buy Black, then that business needs to also be revolving that and funneling those funds back into Black as well. Most of the people who use that to get a leg up, use that to sit back on the very people who put them in place by going to the Gucci's and the Christian Dior's and stuff like that. But that's just a mentality of what was the phrase? It said some Black people think white ice is colder. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I saw for this was a clear visualization of unity. I label it as Black unity because it was Black people who jumped in, but it was also more Black because I've also seen where some news press was trying to label the Black people as violent for reacting in the way that they did, but they wasn't highlighting the violence that caused. It was a cause and effect situation, and we're not looking at those who caused it versus the effect that they and most of the people that was involved in it are on social media speaking out like, yeah, we got our ass we found out, we fucked around and found out, you know what I'm saying? Like, it was a blatant display of unity to me. And yes, it was in a violent sense, but it wasn't violent to me. I think it was vital. And it's just one aspect in one area. I agree that we still need more unity all across the board with communities and like
4, 3, 2, yeah, go and chill, yeah. I'm not watching this video, man. You ain't subscribed yet? Man, you got about 5 more seconds to go and subscribe. I'm gonna finish up with this person right here, man. Hey, subscribe to this channel, man. We got work to do. All right, let's get back to it.
Shout out to these 19 black families that buys 97 acres of land in Georgia. Like, shout out to them. You know what I mean? That's a move that I'm sure we all could agree on, that we are trying to make. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want, like, we talking about this. Like, these are moves. That is progress. You know what I'm saying? Like, and plans and development, man. Yeah, that was Black Unity.
Shout out to them. Yeah, hey, but to your point, Trey, that was like when you asked the question the other day if we wanted to talk about it, I was like, that was kind of my hesitation. I'm like, I know how it's gonna be perceived. Like it's gonna be perceived like the black people, because we won. We were the aggressors and everything.
Yeah,
and feel like that, you know. And I don't know. I enjoyed the video. It was kind of entertaining, bro. My favorite part that they don't show was like a little side view where it's the young boys pulling up and you see the dude skipping. You know how we used to know it's about to a brawl. They start skipping. They had the little Avengers Endgame meme where they were coming through the rings like from Doctor Strange. Like, coming out of everywhere. And that's when it really got ugly. That was my favorite part of that.
Hey, that was crazy. And y'all saw the one about Aquaman?
Aquaman. Hey, they said they were like it was a Boondocks quote. I'm like, if y'all make a black dude swim to go to a fight, it's like, what they do to make them niggas that mad?
but to go back to like Trey point, I think this event and comparing what Trey was talking about the 19 families with the buying acres of land, it showed what mainstream media is trying to promote, and it also showed what we focus more on, which is the violence. And I'm not saying like violence isn't necessary. You know what I'm saying? You got to defend yourself. You got to stand up for what you believe in. You got to meet the opposition if you got to. But when people are doing things like that, like the acres and stuff like that, I heard about the fighting before it even hit television. You know what I'm saying? Like I seen people reposting it like crazy. But when we need to get in the habit of not just promoting that, but like you say, the things with the families, repost that. Let people see, oh, if we come together, we can buy land. You know what I'm saying? We can start changing up group economics. We can start a Black Wall Street. Oh, man, hold up, time out, too. Shout out to my boy, Jaylen Brown, who got the largest contract in NBA history. And he started talking about trying to promote a Black Wall Street up in Boston, man. Shout out to him, yo, because when I heard about that, I was like, see, that's what we talking about right there. And I feel like we on the cusp of a movement where you see, hey, fuck around and find out, but also, yo, we making moves to improve our areas. You know what I'm saying? We're not just going to let y'all just be buying up all the land and we missing out. You know what I'm saying? We making moves too. We trying to we want to set our families up for generational wealth, generational success. We want to start taking this information and start passing it down to our friends and family so they got opportunities that they didn't even know existed, that other communities are aware of. Whether they take advantage of it or not is on them. And not everybody, and also it is a social thing as well, where, you know, it don't matter the race. People that's underprivileged don't know a lot of this information as well, regardless of race. But we talking about trying to help the communities that we in learn this information and get a better foot up. And that's what we talking about, trying to work together. So when I see us come together to help a brother out when he getting beat up, we should come together and help a brother out when he might not be doing as well financially, and not just give him money, but give him opportunity to be able to provide and take care of himself so he can feel good about himself. And then you just keep passing that around. So I think that's the avenue that we should take, this energy that we feel about, everything that happened down in Alabama, but also take that same energy and shift it towards helping out our brothers in the community as well. Stop senselessly killing one another, beating up each other for no reason. Like, yo, like, stop beating let's stop beating us up. You know what I'm saying? Let's start working together. Let's start building. Let's start making moves and elevating. And that's the energy I want to take from what happened in Alabama, and then use that in all these other communities to help build our communities and look after one another the same way they looked after that brother out there as well too.
So what is going to take, because we all know what happened with Black Wall Street, and there was no consequences to them demolishing or destroying an entire Black community. And you know, we could talk about the side effects of that all day, but what is it going to take for that to happen again and for it to flourish?
I think the difference that what happened now is we already integrated. We already see what life is like living with other communities now. Whereas before we was forced, and they took down Black Wall Street and implemented integration as well too, to kind of take our mind off of, you know, building up our own. Like, yo, you come and build up this other system, a system that was already built for another class or group of people. So now we've been experiencing that since the 60s. Now if we build something on our own, it's our choice. We didn't have to do it out of necessity this time. You know what I'm saying? All that stuff we was doing, we were just trying to survive. We had to come together. Now this time is by choice. And I think if we could work when we work together, I ain't gonna say if, when we start working together and start understanding about not just buying Black, but also doing good business with one another. Don't just buy Black with me because I'm Black. Buy Black with me because I do good business as well. Because it's a two-way street. People not gonna keep buying Black if you ain't holding up your little bargain by providing good customer service and looking out for the people that supporting you. So I think when we get those things to come together and we see it's mutually beneficial, I think Black Wall Street could and will flourish, because now it's a choice. We doing this by choice, not because we was forced to do it now. And we also seen the other side of the coin as well too. So that's what my thoughts is on it.
I think Black Wall Street could flourish right now. It has a better chance, especially because back then we were living in different times. Like Paul just said, oh, there go West right there. And cut the locks off, man. But I think we can. I think Jaylen Brown need to get traded to Atlanta Hawks. I don't think Boston is a place to start. But I think it definitely can flourish. Like all they can do now to try to stop us is with legislation and paperwork. They can't really just come out and murder us. But who knows? Who knows? Shit.
We know. I want G's emphasis before we let it go.
Oh, you still here? You ain't subscribed yet? Hit that button, my man. Hit that button to subscribe.
Mr. West, come on. What would it take to flourish now?
Let West, because he ain't even talk at all yet, man. It's cool. He can give his own perspective on it real quick. I already gave mine a little bit. I'll be rude to our guests.
Peace, fam. Y'all know my perspective on it. I won't really come on to talk on this particular subject, but I'll leave it on this. This is an opportunity for us to understand the importance of training ourselves, especially as Black men. We need to be actively working to get healthier. We need to be actively working to learn how to combat. We need to actively know how to protect ourselves and women as well, because this is another opportunity for us to be taken advantage of down the road. We celebrate this, and this is great. It's a great win. But when we talk about a battle, that's just a part of the war. And like I've talked about before on this podcast, we are at war whether we know it or not. You know, it's attack on the food, it's attack on the education, it's an attack on everything when it talks about Black men and Black women in the Black community, which is something that's very passionate for me. So I'm not going to really get emotional on it, but we need to be able to not just celebrate, but we need to think, because just like these individuals, they're emotional. You know, it's people watching this that get enraged when they see, you know, us getting together, because the whole plan is for us to be divided. You know, I talked about that before as well, that division is the key to this whole so-called white supremacy thing. You know, like we talk about that, and people use it as a conspiracy thing. But you know, there's videos. You know, I've been watching on. You know, I don't really get on TikTok too much, but when I do, you see where people in different countries they believe and stick together as they're Caucasian. They are all believe that they're the same, regardless of what country they're on. But when you come to America, we got all types of labels for the same type of people. You know, they go by different shades. Or we light skin, I'm dark skin, or I'm mulatto, I'm this, I'm that. When in all actuality, you all are black. So I just leave it at that. Like, we need to be taking this as an opportunity to learn, not just celebrate, but we need to also think and plan for what's coming behind this, because there's going to be retaliation. You know what I mean? There's going to be people that see this and say there's a reason why when they see somebody else do something like this, they're going to be ready with gunfire. It ain't going to be a battle of fists. It's going to be bigger than that. And when you think about black people, we got the lowest quality of guns. So guns is not going to be the one that's going to do it. So we need to be able to understand how to protect ourselves, protect our children, protect our women specifically, because without the women, we don't have any men anyway. But at the end of the day, that's just where I leave it on. Like I said, it was great to see, but it's something to applaud, but at the same time, we need to make sure we use our brain and be cognizant of what we're dealing with here.
Love it. Be coming in with the Eminem 8 Mile lyrics, man. Motherfucker be spinning, man.
So what would it take to flourish, G?
It would take what's the question? I'm sorry.
So we leading back to Black Wall Street. What would it take to flourish in this day and age? Because it's always a question up in the air of what was the destruction. Of course, obviously, it was attacked and stuff, but Black Wall Street and Tulsa, Oklahoma wasn't the only two black communities that we had. And a lot of people don't know about the black communities that we do have now. I know it's slim and few, but there's one in South Carolina. But what would it take to establish something like that again? And what would it take for it to flourish? What do we need?
I think, man, a few easy steps. Us to find God and get God again and figure out what's right and wrong. Understand the importance of family. Those are the main things. It's plain, cut, and simple.
So for me, what would it take for it to establish is a communal mindset. We do start in the house. So yeah, getting right with God, getting right with your ancestors, getting right with your mentality, and get your family straight. And by family straight is by having those morals, principles, and set. Like, even though we was back then, we had a common enemy, so we had to be together. We had to tell each other, like, when a white person is around, this is how you act. Or, we don't want to be the image of what they say, so we're going to portray it differently. No, you are going to be, even if it ain't the best clothing, you're still going to tuck your shirt. You're still going to wear a tie. You still got dress shoes. You still, you're still going to be clean. You're going to take care of other people as if they were family. But how do you know how to treat other people as if they were family if the family is not together? So yeah, it do start in the home, but it has to branch out into a communal mentality. And you got to have that communal mentality. It doesn't stop just with you. It doesn't stop just in your house. We got to be willing to take care of all of our houses, and then that will become a community. And with that, from love comes protection and development. So then you'll look at the essentials. I think Mr. Utley had told us is you need a hospital, you need a bank, you need a source of food. Yeah, grocery. Schools. So education and then defense, you know what I mean? Because it's a blitz will come, you know what I'm saying? You can't let them all get across the line though. So all of that together is what's going to make it strong, and it's going to make it flourish. I love that.
That's what's up, man. This was a good topic, man. I think, G, we got one more video, right?
Yeah, we got one more.
All All right. So while G loading up that video, any final comments, thoughts on the situation in Alabama? I do want to say the best meme I saw was a shirt that read "Lift every chair and sing." You know what I'm saying? I thought that was hilarious, man. But anybody got any final thoughts or anything they want to end on as far as that, as far as everything that happened in Alabama?
I love it, man. I love the emphasis of unity because it showed that we're not just sitting back. I don't like the saying "we ain't our ancestors." I think the youngest need to get rid of that saying because that is implying that our ancestors was weak and did just sit back, because you wouldn't be where you are right now if it wasn't for them. So shout out to everyone who came before these generations and generations before, who was willing to fight, that gave us the opportunities that we have today. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think Wes hit on. I think a couple of y'all hit on it. Like, you know, it was good to see us coming together, even though it was violence. But let's build on this momentum. Let's take that energy and shift it into something more positive, so we can uplift each other and you know, just move forward and get better as a community.
Facts.
Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely.
If I can camelback, you know, I'm gonna get away from that pig. You gotta get away from that pig. We fed you back, and we can horseback. We can dolphin back. We can do all types of things, but that piggy gotta go. But I think the other thing I want to touch on as well is that this was a small glimpse of unity. But when you look at all of the footage that you've seen, majority of that footage was still our people recording it and talking about it. You know, you hear a lot of the chatter in the background. That should also be spoken on as well, that we have to get out of this mentality of recording everything that we see, because once you start documenting this, you now make yourself a target.
Yeah.
You make yourself a part of attack, in a sense, because now that footage can be sanctioned in court, you know what I mean, or summoned in court. So you're putting yourself in a predicament where you also are helping the enemy as well, because you're giving too much evidence, and we got to get out of just telling all of our business. That's one thing I'm working on as well. I mean, we get on these platforms, but until we have our own platform, we can't keep telling what we're gonna do next. And more we keep telling the enemy and telling the so-called white man that what we're gonna do next and what we feel about this and feel about that, you're just creating a situation where they're gonna be a one leg up on you, because most of us don't think 10 steps ahead. We just think about what we see in front of us. So we just gotta be able to stop being so quick to show everybody what happened and report it to everybody, which is the importance why we do need our own platform, so that we can freely speak about what we want to without having to be worried about who's listening. We don't know who's in the live. We don't know who's watching. You know what I mean? You got to think about Malcolm X and Martin Luther King and all that. They were agents in there. You feel what I'm saying? They came in the name of being a part of the nation, or they came in the name of supporting Martin Luther King, but in all actuality, they work for the FBI. So we just can't just keep volunteering and thinking that everybody is on the same agenda. We speak about unity, but unity is different from uniformity. Everybody doesn't have to do the same thing, but if we don't have like minds, if we're not on the same agenda, then you're on someone else's agenda. So we just don't want to keep, just telling what the next plan. Oh, I'm gonna go do this. I'm gonna go do that. Okay, well now there's going to be somebody waiting on you to go do that so they can go incriminate you. You feel what I'm saying? Because not everybody understands what Black unity is.
And just a tip. If you wanted to, stop. If you wanted to use, the reverse of what Wes just said, if you wanted to use like a video for evidence or something, and say, for instance, you didn't have permission, even though Wes just told me not to give out this information.